Hey everyone, Mr. DVB here. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a triple review. So despite the fact that I said I was done with reviews a month ago, I honestly am still going to be doing them on this channel. I think at the time I was just really bored with doing them, but there are a lot of movies I've seen in recent months that I feel like I should talk about on this channel. And so I'm going to be doing quite a bit of these triple reviews or so over the next few days, just so I can get my thoughts on a lot of these movies and then head back onto my regular review course. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about three completely unrelated movies: Army of the Dead, Fast and Furious 9, and Escape Room Tournament of Champions. The only thing that I guess is similar about these films is that they all have colorful posters. Beyond that, yeah, I don't think there's anything similar about these. So first up, I'll be talking about Army of the Dead, which was released back in April or so. It's the newest film from Zack Snyder. He obviously had his own version of his own cut of Justice League earlier this year, so pretty busy year for him. This was a movie that I wasn't really excited for or anything like that, but I checked it out because it was on Netflix, so I didn't have to go see it in theaters or whatever. And this movie was not good. I really, really did not like this movie. And it's funny because I've seen some people who really liked it. A lot of them are just definitely Snyder fans, and they think it's this awesome zombie film. And then I've seen a lot of really mediocre or mixed reviews, and I'm definitely somebody who just thought this was a bad film, straight up. First of all, it's way too long. It's about 2.5 hours long, and it's a zombie movie about a group of mercenaries breaking into a vault so they can steal money in a walled-off, zombie-infested Las Vegas. Why is a movie about that 2.5 hours long? This movie could have easily been trimmed down by 40 minutes or more. Just like I said, excessively long, really boring at parts, which surprised me because I thought if there was one thing about this movie going to it, I thought it was going to just be very over the top and energetic, and it wasn't. This movie was really slow at times, and that shocked me. I think it takes about 40 or so minutes to really get started, and I didn't find the movie entertaining until the last 40 minutes or so. So this movie just has a lot of downtime where it's just very dead, very boring. So yeah, did not really enjoy this movie. I found the characters to all be very forgettable. I don't remember any of their names. Some of them are just downright unlikable though. Like this one character who is this German or Austrian safecracker was supposed to be comedic relief, and I found him so annoying. I could not stand his character, and they're gonna have an entire movie based on him coming out in a few months. Why the hell do we need a movie about that? Yeah, so didn't like the humor in this movie. I don't think I laughed once at any of the dialogue. I think the only thing I found kind of funny was some of the over-the-top kills. And even then, from a kill standpoint, a lot of this movie is just zombies getting shot in the head. It's just, not interesting, right? They could have done some really over-the-top, gruesome kills. The start of this movie, the intro, has a buzzsaw cutting some zombies in half. I just wanted more of that, but a lot of this movie is just headshot, 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 annoying humor, boring characters, overly long, etc. So yeah, not a good movie. There's also this one plot hole in the film where this character discovers that another one in the group is actually there for different reasons, and right before they die, they don't even decide to tell the rest of the group. They reconnect with the group, and they just tell them to go, and then they die. And I was like, why would you not tell them right there? So it's pretty stupid, and yeah, bad movie. Do not check it out. Alright, next up we have Fast and Furious 9, which I think the official title is F9 The Fast Saga, which is a terrible title. These movies are very bad for naming their films. But yeah, I am not a fan of these Fast and Furious movies. I don't know. I don't straight up hate them or anything. I just think they're all really generic, very over-the-top action films. The one thing about this movie going into it that I heard was that it was more over-the-top than ever. And some people I know who even like these movies were saying that this one was just too much for them. And I was kind of surprised by that. Because watching it, well, yeah, I guess it goes a little bit more over the top than usual. For example, they go to space and there's trucks that get flipped over by magnets. I didn't find it too crazy compared to the other movies. I guess this is the most unrealistic, but it didn't bother me. I didn't find it too stupid. Yeah, it was dumb, but I just didn't care anymore, I guess is where I'm coming from. I was coming at the point where I'm whatever, I don't care what they do with these movies. It has the same issues as a lot of the other entries in this franchise, which is that They overused the whole family thing. It got annoying in this movie for sure, how much of it was just about, like, okay, well, we're family, so we're going to be okay. Like, it was very overused here, to the point where it's just kind of a joke at this point. The movie also, it wasn't very funny, similar to Army of the Dead, except, Army of the Dead was just annoying with its humor, and it wasn't funny. This movie just wasn't funny. I wasn't, like, pissed off at the jokes or anything. They just didn't work for me. There was one sequence, though, that had a really, really weird section of dialogue where characters were joking about Star Wars, and I just found it awkward. And there's also one super annoying cameo from Cardi B. I don't know why these movies have these dumb cameos at this point. They're really infuriating. So I find those things more annoying than the over-the-top action sequences. But yeah, my biggest issue with this movie from a Fast and Furious standpoint, I just found it uneventful. Like, in all honesty, you look at Fast and Furious 8, and that movie ended with, like, a big submarine, like a huge car sequence, driving on the ice. There was, like, a plane sequence where Jason Statham was, like, killing a bunch of guys on a plane. He was saving a baby and then, like, skydiving. Like, all this really big climactic stuff. And this movie's climax was just a truck driving down a road with the cars chasing after it. I don't know. Like, it just didn't feel as, like, large scale as I would have thought. And so I just kind of, by the time the movie was over, I was like, yeah, it was kind of uneventful. So, not a good movie. Didn't care for it. I don't think it's terrible, though. It's just a very meh film.
Oh, hell no.
Alright, and last but not least, we have Escape Room Tournament of Champions. So, the first Escape Room from 2019, I want to say, I watched it, like, a few months ago, and I thought it was basically just a poor man's, like, Saw, or not really say a poor man's Saw, but just kind of like a PG-13 version of Saw, I guess, until the last, like, 20 or so minutes, which were just terrible. I think the first Escape Room has one of the worst endings I've ever seen in a movie. It was just so bad, but hilarious at the same time. And so, Escape Room Tournament of Champions, I wasn't really excited for it, but I enjoyed the first one enough to the point where I was like, I'll go see the second one. And so I did, and I actually thought it was alright. So funny enough, Escape Room Tournament of Champions is definitely my favorite out of these three movies that I've talked about today, which is kind of sad. But yeah, no, this movie, I just thought it was fine. Like, I didn't think it was particularly good or anything, but I also don't think it was bad. It was just a very, average, like, entertaining horror film, I guess, if you would even call it horror. Same premise as the first one. Group of characters are all, forced to do an escape room, but the escape room has, like, dangerous aspects to it, like these people can die in these rooms, etc. The only difference is that this time around, it's all people who have won previous games, so it's kind of like the best of the best. A tournament of champions, which they even say in the movie, and it was so cringy when they did that. But, I don't know, this movie kind of just got straight to the point. The characters were all, like, forgettable, but I don't know, I didn't care in this movie's case because it's like an hour and a half, right? You know what you're going to get going into it. So it's kind of just straight to the point. It didn't have a terrible ending like the first one. It was a more kind of cliche horror ending, but I was fine with it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I thought the movie was enjoyable. There's a lot of just characters screaming at each other, which could get kind of annoying at times, but I guess it makes sense for the setting. The rooms here I thought were more interesting than the rooms in the first. The biggest problem with this movie for me, though, is that it's PG-13, right? Like, there's one room where there's, like, acid pouring down on the characters, and, I mean, spoiler alert, but, like, a character gets melted, and it's just from super far away. You just see the clothes fall into the ground. And I mean, like, this movie could have been, like, R-rated. You could have had, like, some gross-ass Saw-type death, but whatever. I mean, I guess it's for a younger audience. But, yeah, overall, The Escape Room Tournament of Champions, it's a fine movie. I honestly didn't hate it. Would I watch it again? Honestly, probably. But is it, like, something I would recommend seeing? Not necessarily, but I just think it was the best film out of these three, and I thought it was an alright film.
I don't understand. We're still in the game. Oh, no.
So there you go, guys. That is the first triple review I'm going to be doing on this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on any of these movies if you've seen them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.